Hello and welcome to the latest installment of Pinter Plays. And what I have on deck for you today is Modern. Right now, the trophy race is going on between a few different streamers: Misplaced Ginger, Demonic Tutors, and Aspiring Spike. And what I found is Aspiring Spike's Lotus Field kind of Jeskai control deck. I watched him play that, and I was like, that actually seems really fun. I would like to play that. So, here we are. I had to max out my rental as well as buy a couple cards, but that's part of the thing with Magic Online right now. The Modern Horizon 2 cards, Solitude, Fury, Ragavan, they're very powerful, but also very expensive. And so if you want to get into various rental accounts to try different decks, look up there at the top of the screen with Mana Traders. If you use my code JPinter_SE0 right now, you can get yourself 15% off when you sign up. That's how I'm able to play all the different decks I want. So if it's something you're interested, it also helps me out and helps out the stream, and I definitely would appreciate it. But as for this deck, having watched them play, it focuses a lot on Blood Sun. The idea with Blood Sun not only being a cantrip, but then your Lotus Field gets to come into play untapped and not have to sacrifice. So once you get to Fairy, Hero of Dominaria, untapping multiple lands, untapping multiple Lotus Fields, it's a good amount to combine with, one Lotus Field and a basic land can cast Cryptic, can cast Memory Deluge, can cast... you're very close to casting Fury or Solitude straight up, but also you have extra white spells that you can pitch to Solitude. Excess Blood Suns can be pitched to Fury. Another interesting thing I've seen with the deck is once the Teferi Hero of Dominaria hits the emblem where drawing a card you get to exile, Valakut Awakening, throwing back and filling up your hand, you shoot down all of their cards all at once, and that's actually pretty sweet. The other combination, Flagstones of Trocaire, has been around for a while. I know it sees play in green-white depths because Elvish Reclaimer can sacrifice it and it kind of acts as a ramp. Well, say you don't get your Blood Sun online, having a Flagstones that you can cash in with Lotus Field, the Flagstones will go get you a land, and you can have a Triome, and then you're kind of set up and good to go. So, different change of pace cards on the sideboard. Ragavan versus kind of combo decks, so you can disrupt them and kind of get in underneath. Rest in Peace against the black-red, Rakdos, Luris type decks. Force Negation if you need that in certain matchups. Wear Tear. I probably won't sideboard correctly. I'll just say that up front. But I think this deck is powerful, and he's managed to get a few trophies with it. So how about we get a 3-2? That would be pretty sweet. So I'll see you in a minute, and we'll jump into round one. All right. Let's go for round one. On the play. Oh, we have to select our companion. I forgot about that part. No companion for our opponent. So what do we have here? We have Blood Suns that we're a little bit away from casting, but not too far. We only need one particular land. We are quite a bit away from these 4-mana spells. Prismatic Ending can maybe help keep us alive. I'm going to keep. Alright, so I'll start with a tapped Triome. Pass turn. Thoughtseize, okay. We managed to get a Flagstones there, so not bad. Prismatic Ending is down. We might as well plan on next turn being the Blood Sun. So I'll play that one now and pass. Now, there would have been, so they're probably jumped. It might have made sense to put the planes out so that they would not know the card I drew for the turn. What is nice is Blood Sun kills Urza Saga, question mark? Strong, question mark? Haha, it does, thank goodness. Alright, so Overgrown Tomb, they are Jund Saga. Tarmogoyf as a 3/4. Well, that is a pretty right-on-time draw. Now, one thing that does hurt us is that Flagstones will not trigger anymore with the Blood Sun. So my thought is we play the Lotus Field, right? We could fire to get Dark Confidant off the board, but that would just grow Tarmogoyf. Actually, would grow Tarmogoyf by 2, would make it a 5. If we Memory Deluge, we could afford to sit back and have counter bounce available. I kind of like that. So yes, I'm growing the Tarmogoyf with the intent that Cryptic Command can save me from it. They know better than to play a spell first. That's fair. Inquisition currently only takes Blood Sun, so I'm kind of okay with that. And they conceded. Okay. I mean, I will not complain. So, the kind of things against Jund Saga, I don't really know. I would think we're pretty set against most of what they want to do. What I question is, are Ragavans good? They likely will be able to disrupt us in a way. I wonder about Rest in Peace. Rest in Peace being able to interfere with the Tarmogoyfs we saw. But they didn't show us Luris. So there must be bigger threats in their deck. But doesn't Jund also play Renin 6? I feel like it does. So part of that is kind of why I want to set up. I feel chalices are targeted against the rhinos and stuff like that in the world, or like black-red where all they have are 1s. I feel like this might be an okay trade. Fire and Ice did okay there, but wasn't an all-star. I'm wondering if what I would rather have are these Ragavans. I still want the Blood Sun, not only for my own purposes, but also to take out sagas and stuff like that as needed. I think Prismatic Ending is going to be great. What if we kind of hedge our bets with... We could bring a couple Ragavans in. Or... we keep 1 Fire Ice. I'll try that. I don't know that that's correct. It's that... Well, okay. I know it's not likely correct. How about that? They have mulliganed to 6 cards. By me putting Ragavan in, though, I lost Kihira. That was something I did not truly think about. I mean, I don't know if I'm really using Kihira, but I have lost Kihira. That's something I need to consider for the future. So I currently am not playing anything here. The best I have is a Pitch Solitude. I feel like I could do better. Okay. I think I'm going to keep this. Valakut Awakening gets me a 3rd land to actually cast the Blood Sun. So I think based on that, I'm going to throw away the other Lotus Field. Not sure that's correct, but that's what I'm going to do. Okay, and then based on that, do I want... This will always be tapped. They did have red and 6, as expected. So, we know they already have a land back in their hand. Does it make more sense to Fury away the Wrenn right now? Play this tapped. What happened? Did I say no or something? Oh, that's awesome. That's what you get for learning this deck. I thought I put 4 damage on the Wrenn and 6, but apparently that was a misclick. Cool. Yikes. Well, we'll see how badly that backfires. Okay. Continuing to get worse. Alpine Moon. Alpine Moon would be a reason for wear and tear, but I didn't really consider that. I mean, this Alpine Moon was going to cause problems for me anyway, but it would be really nice if they didn't have the Wrenn and 6 in place ramping them, right? What makes more sense? Eliminate the Wrenn and 6, who gives them an emblem that doesn't do anything. Because currently, yeah, Wrenn and 6 is holding down. Sorry, Rest in Peace is holding down. They would just have to... Come on. Sure. Well, I got 3 mana now. This is a very interesting... Well, a neutered red and 6 and Tarmogoyf versus a Alpine Mooned Lotus Field. There we go. Combat damage to a player. I assume they have other removal. We just haven't seen it yet. I mean, you might as well block with Tarmogoyf. Okay. It's worth a shot. That's a decent spell for them to keep in. I hope I hope you're enjoying this exciting gameplay. So there's a new prismatic ending which we can deal with. I don't currently have hexproof. That's fair. I did not consider that part. Can they kill an enchantment? That would have been... Well, I was going to say, that would have been a reason to get a mountain, but I don't have any mountains. Alright, so let's see if we can start to do some stuff here. They're going to get double emblem off this red and 6, and I just feel like that's kind of funny. Okay. Memory Deluge getting us a prismatic ending and a hero? No. Let's get land to fairy. That might be better. There's the Blood Sun. So they'll be able to spit out a small token, but after that, we'll have cleaned it up. And there's a new Valakut Awakening, but we can also use that. We could use that as a land, or better yet, as card draw when time comes. Spell Bomb, you got it. Going aggro with the red and 6, that's fair. Oh, they wanted another artifact for the construct. That's smart. Take it. A new memory deluge. So right now, Teferi plus, but they could have removal for me. I like the idea of getting Teferi going, or trying to. Okay. I'm going to untap these two. Okay, pass again. They could attack for 2, they could ping. That's fine. That kind of buffers our life total for a little bit. You hit my Valakut Awakening tier. I kind of wonder, like, what are they holding on to? Discard a card. Okay, so you're going to hit Ren and 6 ping. Oh, can't cast it. Nice. I think we sit back here with the chance to do Solitude stuff, and or Memory Deluge, and or Cryptic Command. So that'll swing in. Let it happen. They have 4 cards left in hand. Okay, they're plussing. Thoughts on Memory Deluge versus Solitude? I think I want the cards. A new Teferi, and a Triome. Okay. So that shrinks that construct. They draw. So now I have double red, which we could fire off here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would untap and have 3. Red, blue, blue, and a Lotus. I'm going to say this, that. Say okay. Yeah, why didn't it work last time? Like, it's not dealing damage to planeswalkers. Or is it? I'll have to go back and watch that, like, because I think it did deal the 1 damage this time. Yep, and do they have another Kolaghan's Command? Nope. Multiple Ren and 6s. Do you have 3 Ren and 6s? Come on, one more. One more Ren and 6. Nice. Bravo! Fury took down 18 worth of Ren and 6. That's not true. You only took 12 down. Don't overthink it. That's fair. That one. Say okay. Say okay. I must have done something wrong the first time. That's the only thing I can really think is I did something wrong the first time around. Well, let me know in the comments if I did in fact do something wrong, or we'll find out later. But yeah, on to round 2. All right, let's get ready for round 2. We've won the die roll. We have selected Kahira. Our opponent has brought Lurrus to battle. With Lurrus, what do I have? I have Blood Sun to start doing stuff. Keep. Of all these things, what do I do first? I'm going to say Sacred Foundry. I'm thinking ahead toward let me have Prismatic Ending, let me potentially fire if needed. Okay. So, would I rather fire this away or Prismatic Ending it? Like, I don't want him to dash a Ragavan. Like, we'll see if this was foolish. If they have a Spell Pierce for this or something to that effect. Okay. They had nothing. That makes me feel better. Okay. Based on that, they showed us Lurrus. They had a Steam Vent and a Ragavan. You can't play Murktide with Lurrus. You can't cast Lurrus off a Steam Vent, so they're Grixis. They're probably the Grixis Shadow deck. That's what I'm theorizing. So if they're the Grixis Shadow deck, I think we still want Solitudes. Force a Negation. I don't think so. Them being Lurrus, though, do I want Rest in Peace to mess with that aspect of it? Potentially. I think I definitely want Solitude. Blood Sun is maybe because I don't think they would have. They're likely to have Dragon's Rage Channeler things, so probably Rest in Peace. But what is Rest in Peace at the expense of? If they are knowing their Lurrus, everything in their deck has to be cheap. Therefore, the Chalices are potentially good, but they could have Kolaghan's Command. I'll let you have one. And then Blood Sun still sets up what I'm doing over here, but it's not required, I would say. Like, I could still get away by playing a Lotus Field with a Flagstone and stuff like that. I want everything. Maybe a Fire Ice is on the weaker end of that spectrum. That's believable. Alright. They are playing first. They're playing first with Aluris. So what do we have? We have the emergency Lotus Field as needed. I don't have an answer to an early Ragavan, though. And maybe that'll be... Okay. Starting with a discard spell, they take the Blood Sun. Okay. Now, here's the case again. Are they a deck that's going to have Alpine Moon? Probably. And so, should I have... If they have Alpine Moon, should I have brought in the Wear and Tears? It's like, yeah, it's... Once again, I wasn't really thinking about that. Okay, Thoughtseize. So they have their options here of Solitude, the Deluges, Cryptic Command. Solitude is what I kind of expected there. So my thought here is I save Spiral of Command for the Canal for the after effects. Plus, this hides one more card in my hand. Because with what we have revealed, we've shown them Flagstone. They know those cards in my hand. They have 2 card types. So they're definitely Grixis. We don't 100% know that they're Death Shadow, but we believe they are. Kroxa. So Kroxa, each opponent who didn't discard a non-land card loses 3 life. So they have 2 cards left in their hand. So yes, please. Get a Triome. Pass. And we have a shields down moment over here. They didn't shock, which I would think they would want to shock. Replay Kroxa. I would expect to replay Kroxa. Yeah, okay. So let's hold the cryptic commands. I think I'm okay losing a Flagstones for it. No block, I'll take my 1. Okay, so much does this cost a flashback? 7. Could play Fury here. Fury would kill the Dragon's Rage Channeler and be able to trade with the Kruxa. I don't know how great that is. Or we sit back on tap your guy's draw. That could be a thing. They could mistakenly try to play something pre-combat. We punish them then. So from what they know I have, they know I'm holding 2 Cryptics and something else. So likely... So inside combat, I'm doing it so a Ragavan can't dash me. We drew a new Fury. They had another land. I would expect them to pick Lurrus up. They did pick Lurrus up. Okay. So I cannot currently play that new Lotus field. Am I in the same situation? Play all this. I float those. Lotus field. We kill the Dragon's Rage, which they would just replay off the Lurrus. Now, if I were to cast that, I would have that available. I would have 6 mana going into next turn as opposed to 5, but then I wouldn't have a card to discard, and I think I want the card to discard. They could just have Bolt. They could have Drown in the lock. I didn't consider Drown in the lock. So here I would expect to see a Lurrus. Lurrus rebuy Kroxa, perhaps. That's 5. Rebuy. Okay. I was not even considering that. That's probably worst case scenario for me. So 2 or few other lands. So I'll bounce that back to hand so it's not active. That'll let them replay. Sure. Then they can play Lurrus. Then they can play Mishra's Bubble. Still doing decent on cards. interesting that they chose to wait. Three, 4, 5, 6. Two to that. Might as well put this in my hand. Since they didn't have enough to trigger with the Luris. Or I should say, they don't have enough to trigger off the Croxa right now. They do have a full grip, which is a bigger problem. But I felt I needed to get the Luris out of play. That's pretty good. So, 1, 2, 3. That's not even enough, is it? 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're paying costs. That's the Drown and Lock. Okay. So they can attack me for 7. Rebuy Croxa. That's going to be most of the damage. Oh, there's 13. Alright. So, we never saw Alpine Moon from them. I think we definitely want the Rest in Pieces. Dress Down is a reason to have Wear Tear. Me being on the play, though, well, no, we definitely saw the Kolaghan's commands. Could just draw better. Drawing better would be. I don't think we want the Ragavans. Although, do they maybe not have removal? Like, oh no, I cost myself Kahira. Kahira isn't necessarily anything. It's an easy way to bring a card in my hand to pitch for the Solitudes. But just looking at, I don't know what I would necessarily want to take out here. Like, if I'm hesitant to bring the other Chalice, if I'm hesitant to bring the Chalice back in because of Kolaghan's command, should I take the Chalices I have out? Is that... No. So what do we got here? I've got a quick Blood Sun. Depending on what they do... Correction. I do not have a quick Blood Sun. I have double Flagstone. They're mulliganing. Okay, Jeremy. What you do... So you would tap these, play the new one, sacrifice the old one, that lets you play Blood Sun. That's how you do it. Just kidding. They are down to 4, though. They took the Solitude. That's fair. Pass. Okay, so here's what I'm saying. Red, white, play a new flagstones, choose a flagstone to keep the untapped one. This triggers. Use it, yes. Go get a Triome. Use the last one to play a Blood Sun. But it still did something there. That shadow is a 3/3. Try that. They had the Drown in the lock. They have one card remaining in hand. I could exile a Valakut Awakening to Fury that down. So now the question is, I could just put Kahira in hand. Towards Valakut Awakening and throwing it away to get new cards, right? Is that worthwhile? I throw away 2 cards, find 2 new ones. Correction, I find 3 new ones. Okay. Oh, the Bloodstained Mire. I was like, oh, I'm going to be able to Solitude the Luris, put them up to a life total, and kill them because of it. That would have been sweet. Ragavan. So the last card in hand I know. So if I exile this, they would have to play a Naked Luris. Or they hit me, they get a mana, they play Luris and Death Shadow. It's too bad they didn't get like super greedy there. That'd have been great. So they'll play out the last card in hand, Luris. Yep. Come on, removal. Come on, removal. Technically removal. See ya. What'd you draw? You jerk. Total jerk. Well, I don't think I can play it. I gotta make them worried that I have something. But why would they not? They would obviously attack in regardless. And steal a memory deluge. Yeah, that's fair. If they play it, it goes to my graveyard. Otherwise, they could have left it exiled. I don't think that's going to matter, though. One, two, three, four, five. Two, five's not enough. How sick would a rest in peace have been there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Even if I had played the Sacred Foundry, that wasn't enough. Yeah, so now they have access to Luris and Death Shadow. Ah! You fool! Bluffed him. This was worth a shot. So now this is the case before. They'll get the mana. Get my Teferi. They could play that Teferi. That would be funny. You are going to cast my Teferi. That is bold. So they have Luris, Ragavan, and 2 others in hand. I'm just trying to think if we can do something. We can snipe the Ragavan. We can attempt to snipe the Ragavan. Death Shadow's back. They don't even have anything else they can bring back. What I'm wondering is, do I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Do I clear this? We know they have Ragavan and friends. Or, okay. I was expecting potentially a Drown in the Lock there, but they don't have to worry about Drown in the Lock if they're holding out multiple counterspells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Desperation Deluge. See, now I do wonder, did I need to... 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, if they just have the Drown in the Lock here, it didn't matter anyway. So now they could have Dress Down. Yep. And that's 15. I'm just wondering, did I need to go for it prior to them doing the draw offset to Fairy? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That was kind of garbage. Well, if I do that on my own turn to find Rest in Peace, that still doesn't change anything. Womp. There's a loss. See you next round. All right, let's head into round 3. Winning these die rolls is nice. Companion. No companion for opponent. Worst case, these Valakids could turn into something else. Do I want to lead with a Valakut then? If I play that tapped, I have an ability to hit my first 3 land drops. I think so. Plus, I can trick them into thinking I'm like Belcher or something. Belcher with a Kahira. Oh no, our opponent might be Belcher. Stomping Ground, Shock, Ragavan, Rag. So see, in this way, by doing it how I did, we still have fire available to us. And I think... Let's play the Canal. Now, it would have worked out had I not played the Valakut Awakening, but I'm kind of glad I did. We can see what they go with. I don't expect... Like, if they pump their dude, I mean, like, you got me. Okay. I feel better about that. Now, theoretically, we either play Hallowed Fountain, or we just play Blood Sun. And then next turn, the Hallowed Fountain is untapped. If they don't respond when the Windswept Heath, okay. That would have been sweet. I haven't really seen that come up, but that would have been awesome. And then I think technically that means that would come in untapped, but that's not the plan. That is the draw plan. I could also look at picking up Kahira so that I have Solitude available to me. Blood Moon. Bad. I do have basics. I just don't have a lot of basics. Theoretically, I could throw this whole hand back looking for basics. Yeah, at no point could I have filled my hand with basics. Or do I hold this one and ship? No, because that's a way to get out of it. Okay. So, save that plains till we need it. Well, I won't be able to, unless I hit the basic island, I won't be able to prismatic ending, because all I have right now is red. Season, sure. We could look at picking up Kahira so that I have the pitch for Solitude. Nice. These are turned off by the Blood Sun. What is that worth turning off? Ones? Probably one. I could do it for one, and I could pick up Kahira. I like that. I just worry about, we lose this basic plains. Like, yeah. Pillage, Stone Rain. I guess I could pillage the Chalice, but Avalanche Rider, Bloodbraid Elf, sure. Bloodbraid, Cascades to an Arbor Elf. Deal. See? Big thinking. Big thinking. 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't think anything here is scary enough. I would love. Do I? I don't believe I have. Yeah, there's one basic island there. Sorry, one basic plains. So if I exiled it now, it's 2 less damage I take. And then this is gone, and I don't have to worry about it. Whether that's right or not, I don't know, but okay. is still only 3 mana. But next turn, we can get Furious. Too fast, too furious. Still digging for that basic island. Another Bloodbrain. Bone Crusher Giant. It's a good one. Target of a spell. This would be an ability, technically. Alright, so I'm going to take 7. So I am glad that I removed that, because that's also a long-term thing. And so now we deploy Fury here. Is there any reason to hold the card in hand? Two, 4. Bang, bang. And I hopefully Chalice has Bolt turned off. We do have First Strike for ourselves. They could have Fury. I don't see why they wouldn't, right? Fury would be bad news. Because Fury would take our own out, and then they attack for 5, puts us at 4. That's bad. Come on, not that. I mean, we're drawing to 2 basics out of 43 cards. I'm going to keep... Well, should I have kept a land for a possible Valakut Awakening? Yes. But my other thought is, say I hit that basic, I'm going to have to tap all these lands for Teferi to blank the Blood Moon for me to turn Cryptic on. That's the main reason why. I mean, I guess 2 Valakut Awakenings versus 2 basic islands. And hitting the basic island would mean I want more lands in play to do things post Teferi. Because, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Had I not put the Flagstones in, I would only have 4 mana. Although the Cryptic command is pretty much spoken for, so maybe I could have kept 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Excess Flagstones as well would be another reason not to use it. Opponent thinking here. Opponent. Not sure what to target. I have 3 options. They have plenty of options. So I'm also running out of time just straight up to the Klothys. Klothys will be able to, over multiple turns, 5 turns, whittle me down. So that is where we currently are. While our opponent considers their options, let's start thinking of sideboard. So with Blood Moon, as many creatures as they have there, I am worried about Blood Moon. I was thinking that's why I would want Force Negation, but I think it makes more sense that instead I want the Wear Tears. Clothis, I don't feel like is a big enough reason for Rest in Peace. Here comes Bloodbraid Elf again. Yep, and that potentially seals it because there's no way I'm going to be able to get all of these. Okay, yeah, that got worse. That is lethal. 3, I have to block. Yep, we did. Opponent took a long time figuring out that we were just totally dead. Okay, so as discussed, I don't think Ragavans necessarily would be good from my side because they are going to have so many things to block and trade with. So I think I want the Wear Tears in. Well, I definitely want the Wear Tears in for the purposes of Blood Moon and stuff. Now, what do I not want? They do have a lot of smaller stuff that can get killed with these ones. Solitude, though? Solitude is a way for me to answer the card that I can't think of right now. Seriously? Clothis. Solitude is a way to answer Clothis that I wouldn't have otherwise. I will be on the play. I just don't know that these chalices are good enough. Like, they are going to have 1-drops, which we even saw. It was good in stopping, but and I'm really not seeing that much else. Like, I only have a few basics. I would have to think Blood Moon is bad for me. Prismatic Ending, similar to the Chalice, like I'm gonna want it to deal with. It's another way to deal with Clothis if Blood Moon is not in effect. Otherwise, some of their stuff gets big quick. But if I am able to keep some of those around, then I want to keep a Chalice over an Ending. Maybe not. This is the patented J. Pinter hemming and hawing over sideboarding. Like, the Fire and Ice is also can kind of feel weak. Not really sure what I want to cut. Comment later and tell me what kinds of things that you would make. But my reasoning is I want that, and like I like the other removal, so that's just what I'm going to do. So what do we got here? We have a basic island. I have a ramp to a Lotus field, but nothing truly to do with it, like these prismatic endings, but just hope to draw out of it, because I can't even really feel like I can play Lotus Field on 3. I dislike mulliganing so much. They mulligan to 6. Let's see if they give us prismatic ending targets. answer is looks like they will. All right, do they dash the next one? That was a hell of a draw. Just the fact that it gave me something to do on my turn. And I have 2 of the basics in play, which scares the Lotus field. I can't sacrifice these basics. Like Blood Moon, sure, and then I'll just Prismatic Ending it. That'd actually be awesome if they did. Nope, Seasoned Pyromancer, sure. Pitch, a Foothills, and a Lightning Bolt. So they kept Lightning Bolts in. They might not have had that much to sideboard out. That would be a reason. Steam Vent. I could take the shock and let myself have the chance for Memory Deluge. I feel like that makes the most sense here. I don't want a Prismatic Ending it because I'm planning ahead. Not having Cryptic up hurts a little, but I can take 3. Sure. Post combat, end step. All right, so there's a Blood Sun. Teferi. Yeah, what do we want here? So I would like to cast Fury. Ideally. But we could also Blood Sun and then have Cryptic available. So I think Blood Sun's one of them. And then I like Teferi, but I'm going to take the Solitude. Okay. So Blood Sun. Play this. What do they got for me? Stop me. Deal. So we could let them try to cast that. We'll let that happen. I can take 4, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll have 8 mana next turn. Are they going to cast the Bone Crusher? Because I'll counter that. Counter draw, counter bounce, counter draw. Okay. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8. I could Fury everything away over there. The reason I'm doing it this way is so they can't just bolt the Fury. That felt like a good turn. Because if they do have a lightning bolt, they have to spend it on Kahira. They can't take out the Fury. That's my thought. Then we still have these backup plans. They have their own Fury, which they could not have hardcast. Pitching a Seasoned Pyromancer. They could go... Okay, that's another way to do it. Yep. They had a handful of Seasoned Pyromancers. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8. White, white, white. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think I'm okay sitting back here with the hope of we hit something with Solitude. My thought there, although I could have exiled the token and blocked, gained the 4 life, maybe that's better. Karn? Okay. Reveal an artifact. Liquid metal coating. So we're going to go on offense. Torpor Orb. That's legit. Then my guys get to come in for free. Cool. All right. Yeah, we clear that. That hits there. That hits for 4. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have Flashback Deluge. All right. Showing me that they still have Bolt in. To be fair, Bolt deals with Fury, Solitude, etc. So that is a reasonable reason to keep Bolt in. Now, because it's reasonable to keep Bolt in, should I have Chalice? But my Chalice against their Karn. I do like that they are giving Wear and Tear more things to do. Wear and Tear thought it was just in there as enchantment mode, but Shatter exists. I mean, Fire Ice still feels relevant. I want to maximize answers for their Ragavan, I think. I mean, I think this is correct. Rest in peace to mess with Clothis, or I just don't think that's good enough. I don't think that's good enough. I think we just have to draw our basics like a champ. Single land? No. They mulliganed. I will mulligan. Woof. So we did get our land, but keep. So I'm going to keep these 2 lands, so I know that. I'll keep these Prismatic Endings. Might as well keep the Solitude. So right now I'm pitching Fury Blood Sun. Yep. I think I just ending the first thing for purposes of that's interesting. Pass. Interesting. So the fact that they did nothing, Valakut Awakening will always be tapped. We could go. This would give me red for a future turn. Oh, do we buy a turn there? Nice. Nice. Could put Kahir in hand, but it doesn't. Well, I mean, it gives me a card to pitch to Solitude. My thought is cashing in Valakut Awakening here, but. So. Thoughts? Solitude him? See, now I want to throw. Draw 3 cards. As we're building our way, they could just play Blood Moon now. Yep. Could I have done anything about that? No. Almost. We just need to hit the white now. Come on, baby. That's problematic. It's getting worse. White. Plains. Close. So there, that will kill the island, which is terrible. Do you think they're the kind of person that plays more than one? Yep. Which do I want? Where? Yep. Yep. That doesn't work. Yeah, understood. I mean, I still think it's correct that they have bolts in. I mocked it before, but actually thinking about it, bolt kills every creature that I would have solo. So it just makes sense. Now, do you have the boat? If you have the boat, you have my respect. Torpor Orb. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna say let's see if they attack. Yep. I'll block. All right. I can't cast anything else, so we might as well put this in our hand. Let's clear Karn. If we could get a Fury in play, that'd be spicy. Yep. It's a little burn action. Utopia Sprawl. Seasoned Pyromancer. Doesn't trigger. Nice. So if I attack, they'll just trade, and that doesn't do me any good. So let's just get a Fury going. No attacks. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ah! Those lightning bolts. Yeah, and the reason I also don't want to attack, I would basically give them the guy in the graveyard to kill me. I don't want to do that. I mean, if I can remove the Pyromancer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come on, basic planes. Basic planes would unlock so much. One, two, three. See, because they would just bring it back as 2/1/1s, and then I trade regardless. I don't think I'm desperate yet. I think the time will come. Okay. 1, 2. Take their pips away. Removes their combat. Keep in mind they still have the Pyromancer. So theoretically, my thought here is, can I destroy the Torpor Orb and still get value on my Solitude? I think the answer is yes. I just have to be patient. Mm-hmm. They thought of something and then changed their mind. A new Karn. Okay. What is this artifact? A new liquid metal coating? Snaring bridge. Walking ballista, that's potentially bad. 1, 2, 3, 4. What costs 5? Okay. Ah. Still 6 mana. Could throw it in play. Could kill that. Oh, that's the other thing, is I was thinking I had all this mana. See, you gotta play smarter, Jeremy. I was gonna say, why didn't that kill it? Gotta play faster. Okay. That's bad news. Come on, basic planes. Oh! You dummy. Oh, come on, Jeremy. What would my next draws been? 1, 2. Those were the 2 I would have replaced here. +1. Yikes. We weren't. So we were going to lose that anyway, but it would have been better not to lose it like a big chunk. So, see you next round. All right, we'll shake that last one off. Play round 4. I gotta say, we're winning all these die rolls. That part's great. Playing against Trophy Leader, Misplaced Ginger, who has been on Hammer lately. I think I'll keep. Would I rather it on... I'm going to say, would I rather it on 1 or 2, but... Sentinel? Steam Vent. Well, I'd rather have this. So we've given them Stoneforge. Now they showed Luris, so they don't have the big equipments, but they can have cranial plating. And they can have Memnites. No blocks. Alright, so I could float 2 mana here and do nothing with it. I could also set ourselves up for next turn, which I think just makes more sense. One, two, play this, yeah. Alright, so then we're going into next turn with Fury. That's a lot of damage. Bang. All right, we got Awin, but he wouldn't be the trophy leader if he didn't know how to beat us. And I expect to be... I think Wear and Tear is useful. I am not sure. This is another one where, hey, wouldn't it be great if I knew how to sideboard? Ragavan, at least from the side that I've played on the Hammer side, I know that I'm not too worried about Ragavan. They have Luris. Is Rest in Peace worthwhile? They're likely to have discard. The Fire Ices have value again. See, like, this is the thing, is I need to know, maybe I have to trim, because they're definitely, like, I want most of this. The Fire Ices are still good. I think I want the Chalices. They are likely going to go with Seal of Cleansing, which would make sense. So maybe I do want to Rest in Peace, or two. If I'm going to bring in Rest in Pieces, do I cut Memory Deluge? Probably. I think the Solitude is too important. From the other side, Solitude is too important. Like, it has blown me out so many times. So I also want to make sure we have... I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to trim the Blood Suns. Trim the Deluges. And hope that's good enough. They are on the play. Obviously, I have a companion. We have Wear Tear into a Fury. They likely have access to their discard now, though. But I mean, Flagstone's Lotus Field seems solid. But I mean, turn one. Sentinel again. Hey, that's pretty spicy. So then the question is, of these, do I go... And I'm not as worried about their ability to... What do I want to say? Blood, Moon, whatever. Springleaf Drum, okay. So, give them a couple cards to fire their two creatures away. Or we kill the two creatures and deal with the next one. I like the idea of Wear. I would love to get to Wear Tear. They had the black anyway. They had their equipment. Okay, so 1, 2. We get Lotus Field here, and I'm wide open to get hit with anything, or one, 2, 3, and I play the Flagstone. They're likely to just pick up Lurrus on their turn. Potentially. Lurrus picked up, as expected. One, 2, 3. I'll allow it. So we could pick up Chalice and a Wear Tear. I mean, those really only seem like the only options we want, but as long as this guy's there, that makes it less impressive. We definitely don't need lands. So I mean, those are just the cards we're going to take anyway. I think that's the simplest. One, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Well, Thoughtseize is going to prompt a reaction. So I would think we lose the Wear Tear. That makes the most sense to me. Could be wrong. Chalice. Well, Chalice stops the cycle, and that makes probably the most sense. Bring back Nestor Sentinel. Yep. Well, that was a good one. Yep. Ornithopter, you got it. Shadow Sphere. Mm-hmm. That's not what I meant to do. I should have just killed this, and then I would have 4, 8, 12, yeah. Yeah, I messed that up. So end step. I'll tap all their stuff and bounce that, and then we have lethal. Lethal without being a big buffoon. All right. Stumbled a little bit, but managed to get there against the tied for the top leadership. So feel pretty good about that. See you next round. Heading into the final round. Oh, he finally lost the die roll. It had to happen. Not surprised. Sorry, I'm just trying to read their name. This is my companion. Do you have a companion? They do not. Opponent, no companion. What does that mean? This hand looks okay, I feel. We are on the draw. On the draw means I have a chance of prismatic ending their first thing. When I see no companion and I see wooded foothills, I'm like, oh, they're Belcher. Sure, they're Belcher. I don't know if that's true. I doubt it. Ragavan. I don't know what that means. Our opponent has decided they would rather have Strike It Rich. It kind of scares me. And honestly, take that. If you want to spend the turn playing Strike It Rich, I want to spend my turn denying you the token. I think. Could be wrong. But then our goal right now is let's get a Chalice out there on 1. Like I have no idea what's going on. Like as much as I okay. What? Is this is Indomitable Creativity? right? I think I figured it out. I think it's the Indomitable because you want to have tokens. Not that any of this matters. Well, I think I want Wear and Tear. I think that's what this means, is like they turn their tokens into stuff. With a Valakut. So they... Yikes. They have the green dude. Ouch. Well, I want to get... I think I need to do the thing to get to Blood Sun. Do you throw another Chalice on one? I mean, it ain't doing anything else in my hand, so... In case they can deal with one of them. And then Blood Sun will turn Valakut off. That'll just... I think that just has to kind of be the game plan. No, I was gonna say, you couldn't have put Kahira in your hand because the Valakut came into play tapped. That's bad. So now you have a Teferi. I mean, theoretically that helps, but why didn't they just bounce it with Teferi? Yeah, see? They're like, no thank you. Because otherwise their Scalding Tarn wouldn't work. Dwarven Mine, this gives them the token. Now they turn it into stuff. I guess we'll see how this works. It's like X and 1. I know there's X's involved. Triple X and 1. And 2. Destroy X artifacts or creatures. For each permanent, reveal until you hit an artifact or creature, and put those onto the battlefield. These are Primeval Titans. Oh, Blood Sun was definitely going to do some work there. So now, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, depending on how they stack it. This brings in 2 mountains, will be 18. Right? 369, 369. Should be. Yep, and then I can't interact because of Teferis. Well, at least I figured out what we were losing to. And it's not even like they have to pay the tax or anything like that. We just flat out die. Okay. So I would say being able to kill... Now, they can still target tokens? Like, blowing up artifacts also works. So, but then the only thing they're going to flip into are the only creatures in their deck. But... Is this the kind... I want to say, like, okay, say I played Ragavan there. I play Ragavan, and they play the crab. Well, there goes that. So... How does Indomitable create it? No, so I think we want Blood Sun. We want Blood Sun. We want to be able to protect Blood Sun. And I'm just wondering, are these Wear Tears what we want? Because sure, I can blow up the artifact in response, but I don't know if that's good enough. I mean, also, they have the fetch land turns into a mountain from like the Mystic Sanctuary cycle, Dwarven Ruin. So I do wonder if in general these Furies are going to be bad. I don't think Rest in Peace stops them. I think this is a case of, I mean, other than the crab, what else is Prismatic Ending really going to hit on their side? It's not going to be, let's say, equitable. Fury? For the most part, I feel like Fury is going to be a miss. Maybe can hit to small to fairy. Fire, ice. We still have the ice portion. I think I want the chalices. Is this correct? Prismatic Endings out. Furies out. Force Negations and Ragavans in. I don't know. Turn 1 Ragavan we can't cast. A hand you can't cast at all. Well, unfortunately, this looks like how we will go out. Maybe not. Okay, keep. So, they kept 7, I remember. All right. I don't like. That's the other thing is I don't really know what my bad matchups are. This was Lotus Field, looked cool, looked fun. I thought that's what I want to do, and then you play against Grixis, Death Shadow. Your opponent strikes it rich. Let's attack. Show me your secrets. I stole a Scalding Tarn. Okay. Pass turn. I remember I did turn off my companion. I turned off my companion by bringing Ragavan, who is only a monkey pirate. He is not an elemental monkey pirate. The fetch land triggers off 3 mountains. To fairy. Bounce my guy. Really? Okay. It's not what I expected. Indomitable creativity. I would be able to blow up an artifact and reveal until I hit an artifact or creature. We could also just let that stay exiled. I have not yet played a land. I would have flipped into a new Ragavan. I'm so smart. Yep, was waiting on that. Theoretically, should have waited until having it back in my hand. The Explorer no land drop is delightful. Oh no, they had it. They had it. They had it the whole time. All right, so we're likely dead. Pass turn. I think we're just waiting to expire. More explorers. Valakut. I think this Chalice on 1 probably is hurting me more than anybody else. Because this is just another Dwarven Mine. One, two, three, four. Don't have double blue. Cool. Nice work, Ragavans. Really? Why wouldn't you go get another Dwarven Mine? Unless you don't have the payoff. But I was going to say, if you get a Dwarven Mine, you can start chipping away. Right? Unless you control 3 or more mountains, which you did. Just hard cast a Primeval Touch. That's terrible. So that is 12. Double mountains coming in. Yep. Bang, 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 bang. Okay, and now they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mountains. That's terrific. Way to go, Ragavan. Womp womp. So, a 2-2 with a deck that, honestly, I think if I knew what I was doing a little bit better, like I said, I took the deck from Aspiring Spike because it looked cool. And the difference between him playing Modern every single day, knowing the different matchups, knowing the sideboard cards they're going to have for you and stuff like that. Like, what was it? I didn't bring in Wear and Tear against Grixis Death Shadow, not thinking about them playing Alpine Moon against me. Like, so those are the types of things that I think experience would go a long way towards making this, that much better. But I still had a blast. Sometimes you tap a land for 3 mana. That's the greatest thing in the world. I'm a bigger fan of this Black Lotus, but this Lotus, still pretty good. That Black Lotus, also pretty good. So, thanks for watching today. You can find other content. Well, obviously you're here because you're watching it, but make sure you check other content for Swish Gaming. And also, shout out to Mana Traders. Thank you for sponsoring me when I do stream because it lets me play different decks like this. So, leave me a comment what are the types of things you'd want to see Pinter play next time? Let me know. But otherwise, we'll see you around. Thanks for watching.